Hello everyone. How's your weekend? Well, I decided to run a Astro navigation podcast this weekend because we have lots going on for next week. So if you are curious, all these change how they're going to impact you, well, listen to this episode of Astro Navigation. So won't be a easy week because this week lots going on. So let's start thinking. First, we are going to have Mars move into Gemini, and then on the Monday happening together is the Capricorn Full Moon, and also Jupiter moving into Leo. At the same time, Mercury is starting to retrograde, and it's like everything's going to change. I think there's a very interesting view from the either mundane astrology perspective or financial astrology perspective, that when a lot of planet changing sign happen at the same time, or plus when at the same time there is a planet changing the direction, that means the tide or the wind direction is going to change. So if we are watching the news or pay attention in the financial market, you are going to notice some significant change going to happen next week. But how about the personal level? Well, so today I'm going to more focus on the personal level, okay? More focus on personal level. So the first we are going to have is we're going to talk about the Mars in Gemini. So Mars is entering in Gemini later today. So for UK time would be moving into Gemini something like this afternoon, this evening, 7 o'clock in the evening. So, and we'll stay there until the 11th of August. So Mars in Gemini is quite interesting. Why? So Mars is about activity and express ourselves, or sometimes it related to the survival strategy, either attack, protect, or any kind of things related to survive. So in the animal world, we will notice that how they're going to get food, collecting the food. That's related to Mars, because you need food to survive. So for some animal, they need to attack another animal to eat, right? So for the other animal, they were collecting the food. And for human being, what do? We work, right? We work to earn money. So Mars is this kind of a surviving force behind how we make move, how we make our strategy in order to survive. In extra, some survival strategy is not just eating the food, but is also kind of continuing our life like a offspring. So it related to how to make next generation sex. Sometimes we can say that. So this is very interesting. When Mars move into Gemini, more people will say, okay, would that be have a lot of argument, or people are fighting? This could happen. No, it is true. This is very easy to think, because if I remember a chart I read a long time ago, was so funny, is the chart of a company Twitter. Now we call it X.com. Twitter has Mars in Gemini, and you know what happening on Twitter? People arguing to each other is very interesting. Social media, different from the Facebook, different from the Instagram. People on Twitter is always kind of arguing with each other, and the limit of the word, cut the short word, you only have like a limit 100 character or something there. So that is really interesting of a Mars in Gemini character. Cut things short, but also kind of arguing with each other. And that is kind of a, next time you want to understand the Mars in Gemini, think about the Twitter, think about X.com. That is very interesting. But this is not only thing related to Mars in Gemini. In another way, we can express ourselves. We learn to express ourselves in order to draw more attention, in either to get more chance to survive, So in the psychological astrology, when you think about Mars, it's not really just about violence, attack, or sex or something. Think about the key fundamental key of the Mars is about how to survive. You either attack, you either protect yourself, you either looking for the food, and this is the key of Mars. And when you think about Mars in Gemini, think about how we're going to use the language skill, how we're going to communicate, how we're going to adopt, because as a mutable sign, the basic astrology 101 is learning, adopt the season for the mutable sign. So as a Gemini, it adopts with the mindset, it adopts with the thinking, with the thought. So when Mars in Gemini, it's not just I'm keep thinking about attacking other people, but it's also the strategy is how to adopt the current situation. How to adapt, we know since 2024, the whole world is changing upside down, and the things are not like before. So Mars in Gemini to help you to think quickly, fastly, and to understand that the world is changing. Very interestingly, because we have another planet. We have another planet in Gemini. Uranus, yes, or Uranus. Anyway, well, how do you pronounce it? It's okay. So when Mars moves into Uranus, when Mars moves into Gemini conjunct with Uranus, there are a few things we have to say. It won't be easy, and it's definitely going to draw our attention in the social, political, geopolitical level, and even for the business or financial market, because this is the huge wave of energy. It's like a super high voltage current, and going to give you a huge shock. I usually say, I remember last week I make a very short video talking about that was the time Mars conjunct Algo. Oh, could you remember what happened last week in Venezuela, the huge earthquake? And the same day we remember earthquake in California earlier, and then Venezuela, and then half hour later in Japan, and the same day I think there are a few other earthquakes happen either in I think also in Indonesia and outside of Africa. So that is the powerful energy. It could be destructive energy, but it also the reproductive and very, very productive energy. However, Mars conjunct Uranus is even more. Especially if you study financial astrology or mundane astrology. Pay attention, because there is a rumor, maybe let me use the rumor or kind of a myth about the Mars Uranus aspect. Either when Mars Uranus, more likely, I think the original idea is a Mars opposite Uranus. When Mars opposite Uranus are usually related to market crash. However, like dear friend and mentor Christine Skinner usually talking about pay attention on Mars Uranus aspect. Usually, it's going to give market a little bit, volatile, move up and down quickly. We can notice that because this is, if we starting to think about them when Mars, within 5-degree approach to Uranus. That means just last week we can notice this kind of a volatile happen in the financial market. So you can notice that, and this will carry on because now it's going to exact conjunct, and then there's still another 5 degrees. Some people use 10 degrees. Some people anyway. You choose your orb. I prefer use a tighter orb, so 5 degrees for me is enough. So we're talking about social political, so what happening in maybe Ukraine or maybe in Iran, in Israel may going to draw more attention. We know that now it's like we probably a little bit feel numb, feel tired about things. They're going to sign the peace deal, they are not going to sign the peace deal, they're going to sign the peace deal, they are going to not sign the peace deal. You just like make up your mind. But hey, with Mercury Retrograde, with Mars in Gemini, no, this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen. You can see, you can wait, hold this next month, in July, you're going to say, yeah, we sign, oh no, we don't want to sign, we sign, we don't want to sign, we sign and we break, we sign, we're going to attack. Don't trust them. With all this happen, things change quickly and you have to act quickly. Let's come back to the personal level, okay? As I say, this is a powerful energy. You see how I get so excited. This is the Mars Gemini energy, all right? I'm just channeling it and then try to express it, okay? So, how are we going to do? Some astrologer will say be very careful when you're doing the things and exercising or this and that. I say yes, but there's one strategy is I highly not recommend it. It's a suppress this energy. What I mean is like you're not going to say I'm not going to do anything. I'm very careful, so I close myself in a little box in my room or something. Usually, the better way to dealing with this type of Mars-Uranus energy is acting with consideration. So you think before you act. That's because they are both in Gemini. You don't need to make a detailed plan. It's not Mars. It's not Mars in Virgo or Capricorn. So you don't need a whole plan. You need a tiny bit plan and knowing where you can go, where you can turn, and have a plan B, C. Okay, so then you're going to kind of act it out and just see where things going and adopt it. And when things doesn't work, change the direction, because this is how multiple sign act. So keep changing direction. However, this is also a very creative power. So I would suggest if you can feel that kind of you have kind of restless mind, like at this moment I have a 10,000 project I really want to do. Or you keep blaming yourself or attacking other people. Well, this is the Mars in Gemini conjunct Uranus energy is trying to remind you, do something, act it out, okay? So what we can do is use this kind of creativity power into our everyday life. In Gemini, so you can try to say something funny and or make some comment, but with careful, not going to annoying your important person, your friend or something like that. Or you can use this creative power like what? Well, to be honest, everyone think about creative. Should I go to painting? Should I go to make music? Should I go to sing? Should I go to do something else? What I think is creative is in daily routine, is in everyday life. How you wear your clothes. If you have, for example, if you have Gemini ascendant, so Mars Uranus is on your ascendant now. So try to, have a new style that more unique, more unconventional. It would be really fit into Mars Uranus, right? So just check the house where Mars and Uranus stay in your house and use this kind of creativity in any according the house. That would be good. It could be used for the style. You can cook a amazing spice dish with Mars, right? Unique, your own recipe with a spice, how to use them. That would be something, right? So another things, okay, you say, I'm not good in this and that. You know what we can do? Okay, let me tell you. Before AI, I really enjoy AI. AI can really make something different. Before AI appear, if you want to draw a picture or something, so what do we do? You have to learn how to draw a picture, right? But hey, with AI, you just give a few keywords and manipulate with your word. That is Gemini, right? So if you feel like you don't know how to use this Mars Gemini conjunct Uranus energy, I would suggest you go to use AI to be creative. Use AI to generate some interesting picture. All right, that is very, very fun to do because both involved with the Uranus and in Gemini, Mars in Gemini, and be creative be productive. Okay, so use that. That would be an interesting thing to do if you ever into it. Well, say how about in 10th house? 10th house is related to few things, and I think if you have this Mars Uranus in 10th house, it's definitely going to echo what we're going to talk about later, the full moon in Capricorn, because they share similar theme. Capricorn and the 10th house, they share some similar things related to authority. Your parent, your parental figure, or maybe how you're dealing with authority, or maybe I think how you apply this energy at your work, or your public image. For example, you can run a podcast immediately. Okay, I suddenly feel like I want to do some picture. You know what I mean? So your public image. So use it at work, for your public image, for your social status. That's nice. Some interaction, because I'm very chatty. So if you let me know what do you think, if you ask the question, that make my podcast much easier. But also I have to control it, because I have a lot of things to talk about today. But please feel free to join. Feel free to ask a question. Feel free to comment. All right. Okay. So another thing is we know also on Monday, Mercury started to retrograde. And this time, Mercury retrograde at 26 of Cancer. Do you have any planet there? Do you have any planet in a tour around that area? So this Mercury start to retrograde and move backward. And it will move to the 16 degree of Cancer, and this retrograde is from Monday, starting from Monday until 23rd of July, around that time. However, from last week, from Saturday, you probably already feeling about this kind of a Mercury retrograde energy. Why? Well, usually you can consider the stationary period when the Mercury, or when any planet arrive at the degree they turn retrograde. So we call it stationary. For that couple days, simply you can come day before, day after. That's the most simple method. I do teach several different methods when I teach the retrograde planet. But the most simple way, the day before, the day after the starting of a retrograde, you can consider they are stationary. Some astrologers doing this. So that means on Monday. So today, tomorrow, and Tuesday, we still under the Mercury stationary. So stationary in the traditional astrology meaning are different from retrograde. Most astrologers talking about the retrograde, but I am more focused on stationary. Why? As I'm a financial astrologer, stationary period are usually very interesting. If you are investor, you probably don't think that's interesting, because that's turning point, and you have to decide they're going up or they're going down. But it is invite us to focus on the matter of that planet. So again, whole this period, these couple days, we are going to think about what I'm going to say, what I'm going to express. Again, the Mars in Gemini, and the Mercury is retrograde. Mars in Gemini is like I say very fast, everything comes out like this. Well, but the Mercury retrograde stationary say, think before you say anything. Think before you say anything. All right. So that is a double whammy a reminder. Say, well, you want to say things quickly. You want to use the word you say as a weapon, but you have to think more carefully. Also, during this period of the Mercury retrograde, it invites us, because I know most things we're going to say about the Mercury retrograde is not wrong. Okay, be careful about what you say. Be careful with your journey, with your commute. Don't sign any contract. You probably heard about 1,000 different things. Don't sign the contract. Be careful with the document when you send out an email, this and that. That's really fine. For a psychological level, what we can do, body, mind, spiritual, and the psychological level, what we can do? Well, we can invite us to have dialogue with our inner world. Why I'm saying this? Okay, Cancer, this sign is a water sign. Is it related to our feeling, and how we taking care about ourselves, how we taking care about other people, how we nurturing ourselves and the people around us, how we pay attention to our family, and in little bit the psychological level is about feeling of a belonging, our connection with other people, and our security. Later this week, there are two small tiny things I will mention. Echo this, the feel need to connect. So when this Mercury retrograde, we better to kind of have a dialogue with ourselves to reconnect ourselves with our inner world just before everything happen, go crazy. Okay, and on the 13th of the July, Mercury will conjunct with the Sun. Some people will say Kazimi, and then station again on the 20th of July at the 16th degree of Cancer. So we say, she has node in with Cancer. So that is a connect with people. Connect with other people, all right? And so on 23rd of July, Mercury direct again. So hold this period, just a few things you can do, okay? Reconnect with your family, Cancer. Rethink about how you look after yourself, how you look after the other. Think about the food you eat. Think about the family you belong to. Think about the country, the land that you belong to. How are you going to connect with them again? Reconnect. Retrograde. Retrograde means do it again. It's not always bad thing. If you be creative, if you know how to apply astrology. And that is some very romantic way or very nice way to do, isn't it? So this Mercury retrograde is quite interesting, and also echoing, we're talking about the Mars into Gemini and how you're going to act. But another thing is a little bit more look on the big picture with we know a lot of astrologers, including my dear friend Liam McCrafty, always talking about the coming up year is very fiery and airy. What are we going to talk about? The Jupiter moving into Leo, and then all the outer planet either in the air sign or fire sign. So this is going kind of, everything's going out quickly. It's like you have a bushfire, and the wind blow and spray everywhere. With this year, if you pay attention, then you will notice that this year we have Mercury retrogrades always happen in the water sign. Around the March is in retrograde in Pisces, and this time we have Mercury retrograde in Cancer. In November we have a Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. Wow, have you noticed they are all water sign? So when the outside world is like, wow, everything going up, everything going crazy, everything is kind of be rational, take the action immediately. But Mercury invite us every time when it retrograde, invite us connect our feeling with water sign. So this is a quick thing to remind you too. All right, so how about the ex-boyfriend? Well, it's tricky, right? So-called ex, because they are already ex. So you decide how you can do it. Well, let me say that. Review your feeling toward to them. Doesn't mean you have to go back to them. Well, okay, I don't know what the situation, but you are an adult, so think carefully, okay? Now we have also the Capricorn Full Moon. Capricorn Full Moon is again very, very, very powerful because we have a Sun at 8 degrees. Let me share the chart. Let me try to do if I can do it. Okay. So we have a chart here. Okay. So now you can see we have the Moon in Capricorn and the Sun in the 8 degree Cancer. So this is pretty interesting because let's focus on the Capricorn theme. Full moon in the Capricorn, this suggests that we are going to focus on the structure of our life. We are going to focus on the things related to authority, family, parental issue, and more about the outside world, more how we're going to dealing with authority again. Why do things repeat again and again? I don't know. All right. So this is the major things we're going to focus on, and we are easy to go to see the outcome appear in this area. Especially pay the attention where the full moon is in your chart, the house, what house they are, this axis, okay? So for some people, this could be like in your first house and the seventh house. That means that the next 28 days, for the next lunation, you're going to focus on the relationship, thinking about between yourself and the other people if you're Cancer rising. Okay, this is the things you're going to focus on. If you have any planet within 1 degree, let's say 6.5 of Cancer and 6 and also kind of a 9.5 degree around Cancer or Capricorn, Aries or Libra. This full moon would be super important for you too. All right. I have ascendant there. It's on my ascendant descendant. So this suggests myself focus on the between myself and other people. Maybe I should reconsider how I'm going to work with other people, and my relationship also, equality also is another thing, because I just read something I don't want to miss. So okay, it's my 5th house. I have Jupiter there. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so you have Jupiter there, and with a with 1.5 degree around that is Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, and then Libra. If you have that, this is super important. First, focus on 5th house and 11th house theme. Okay, 5th house and 11th house. This suggests the personal goal and the collective goal. So what are you going to do is you think about your own aim. What do you want to focus on at this moment? What do you want to achieve? And think about what whole society want to achieve. Could you connect them together? Use the community power to combine with the things you want to do. Okay, think that, because that's very interesting. Because especially Jupiter is there, it could bring something really big, and something can really kind of expand a project, a long-term project. Make sure, because it's a lunation. Every lunation can usually relate it to for another 18 months. So my suggestion for you, especially if you have like Jupiter really in that degree, make a kind of 18 months project related to 5th house. Well, that could be fun. That could be enjoy. That could be like, creativity. That could be love life, of course we know 5th house. But with Jupiter, that could be higher education, right? Philosophy thinking, body, mind, spiritual, anything you can think about Jupiter. Or traveling or learning foreign languages. That would be fun, right? Okay, also 5th, right? Okay, 7 is also 5th. Okay, so that is the things, right? So, wait a minute. Question. I have a question. As a rising Virgo, it's in my 5th, but degree-wise, sorry. So, if you notice that degree-wise in your 4th, that's focused on 4th house. So that could be family, okay? So think about the family issue. Think about how you're going to decoration your house. Also, you're going to relate it, your current relationship, or how you interact with other people, related to how you learn from your parents. How you learn it from your parents. So it's re-exam how your parents has influenced you until today, how you treat other people. Okay, that would be a very interesting. However, let me focus on something else. Now, this set of a full moon is very interesting because form a T square with Neptune. So for next 28 days, the things could be a little bit, I don't know how to say the word, could be a little bit messy, which means it's not totally ugly, but it could be a little bit like people forget about things, people feel longing for something, people feel lost or something. It could be a very sensitive because T-square with Neptune. You can see the Neptune. I don't know, my picture is hiding there. Okay, let me move it away. If you see my picture is moving away, you can see they form a T-square kind of 4 degrees away with the Neptune. So this T-square can be, well, make people feel like a drifting, wandering, don't know where to go, especially when things related to relationship, cooperation, working with other people, cooperate with other people, just like, where should I going? Or have I missed something? Or maybe feel longing about, for example, ex-boyfriend, ex-partner or something, feel a little bit like missing something, feel longing something. This is your dream is calling you, but not an ideal time. Why? Okay, with T-square, this square is most challenging one. So if you want to get that dreams, it would be very challenging. You have to put a lot of effort to get what you want. This is the first thing. And we know, come on, Mercury Retrograde, don't do that, all right? So we rather just go back to our heart, as I say, is Mercury Retrograde. Go to communicate with ourselves. Do a tiny bit therapy session with yourself, with your friend. Discuss how do you feel, why you feel like this. It could be helpful, okay? But full moon, Capricorn full moon, you can focus on the Capricorn theme with career, your relationship with authority, with your social status. What do you want? What kind of people you want to be for this society? What position you want to get in your career life? And how you're going to appear in the front of everyone? Or what is your calling? Or what are your calling? What I mean is kind of for this society and what you want to be in front of everyone. Okay, so these would be the things that we can do. Okay, well, some people say rising Gemini. So sun in Cancer. So sun in Cancer, well, happy birthday soon, right? Or already there. Okay, so we have the sun, this full moon at the Cancer and the moon in opposition. So, but it is, you have Gemini rising. So this could be in your second house. So the second house related to financial matter, right? So let me say Gemini rising. So Gemini rising, so sun in second, but the moon in 8th house. Okay, this full moon can trigger something deeper. Some people will say make you feel a little bit insecure or something. So especially at the same time, we have the Mercury. We have Mercury in the Cancers, Mercury retrograde in Cancer. So this could trigger something, feeling like a little bit of crisis or insecure related to financial matter. Okay, so think about your relationship with money, your relationship with the money you're going to use, with the money, your daily routine, and how you're going to work out your financial situation, financial security. This is the things you're going to focus. Okay, now we come to the interesting one, that Jupiter moving into Leo. Well, this is so important because Jupiter will stay in the Leo from the Tuesday, okay, from Tuesday, 30th of June, and they will stay there for a whole year until next year, 26th of July, 2027. Basically, Jupiter in Leo, everyone will be like, wow, this is going to be fun, because Jupiter suggests how the society going to develop. Jupiter is also indicator how we're going to develop. We are going to develop in a Leo way. Usually, this could be fun because Leo is a fire sign and it's a shining and growing up and things bigger, shining and draw everyone's attention. So, for coming up year, everything you are expecting to do, you want to do it in a very grand way. Like, wow, look at everyone, I draw a picture like this. Or look at everyone, I know how to use AI to make a post. Hey, don't worry, don't be shy. I'm from Asia, and usually we've been told we have to be humble. We have to be humble. So if I draw a picture like a kindergarten people drawing, we will never show anyone else. We're just like, oh my God, shame on me. But when I notice the Western world, this is the cultural differences. The people just doesn't care. I draw something. This is my work. That's it. This is what I can do. So it's a cultural impact to me to learn to enjoy myself. Another thing I want to share a little bit. Some of you probably know I play ukulele. I used to trying to learn violin cello, and the dream of my teenagers was I want to become a musician, classical musician. I want to play cello in a huge orchestra. So I take music seriously. I take classical music seriously. If I couldn't perform that good, I would never show it in front of everyone. So this kind of issue haunting me even until my mid-40s. I never want to perform anything. People say, oh, you play cello, you should perform. I say, no, I would never, because I'm not good enough. So until like late 40s, suddenly one day I saw ukuleles tiny and cute and funny. And I noticed people play it just like enjoy their life. Just do singing somewhere over the rainbow or something. I said, I want to do that. Then I realized I want to enjoy rather than performing. So that's the things. Jupiter in Leo, you find your goal, the Jupiter. You find which direction you are going. Okay, and then you're going to do it with a Leo way. This is one thing. There's a whole society going to do that. Everything could be shining, could be positive, could be grand, could be positive, could be marvelous. Okay. However, personal level, you ask yourself, where is this Leo in your chart? Because I already know few of you. For the Gemini rising, that means in your third house, around your third house. So you can set up a tiny foreign language learning project. All right, even just play Duolingo. It will be fun. You're going to enjoy it because it's third house communication. Learn how to speak. Jupiter, learn foreign language, and you set your goal. Just try to enjoy it. Set up that's third house things. Okay, if it's a second house thing for someone who has a Cancer rising, and that means second house things. Oh, what are you going to do? Oh, be careful because that's me. Jupiter in your second house, usually you are quite positive and have confidence in your financial matter. So you are going to this money is coming, that money is coming, so I can start to spend the money, right? I'm going to buy the most new generation of a mobile phone or computer game, or book a luxury trip, buy the business class ticket to around the world. Eventually, because Jupiter is about spending, so he going out. But that doesn't mean you couldn't make money in, because usually Jupiter means luck. So you may have some luck with with your income, but I think just make sure you don't spend them faster than how you earn money. So how about make a tiny investment project? So this pot of this tiny pot of money can expand too. So this is how you're going to use Jupiter's energy. So, Jupiter in the 12th house, degree-wise, I know. Okay, now I know how you say that. I know how you say that, because it looks like you are using the whole sign house. Okay, if you use whole sign house, it is in 12, then count it in 12. Okay. That's okay. I don't know, because degree-wise is something, but it's Jupiter would be there whole year. If you use 12 house, that's 12 house. Okay, if you use whole sign, that's what I mean. If you use whole sign house is 12 house, you just consider, because I don't use whole sign house, so I will use degree, but it's between 11 and 12. Major things, think about 12 house. Jupiter theme related to 12 house, what does that mean? Be kind. Because 12 house in my mind is thinking in the modern astrology way, okay? 12 house is about give in, surrounding to the universe. You give in. You don't think about yourself. First house is yourself. 12th house is before you become yourself, you're part of the universe. So you're going to learn a lot of things about take yourself away. When you think, you are not thinking about self, but think about the whole human races, think about the whole universe. So there could be some challenge. There could be some challenge, okay? There could be some challenge in that way. And so, but we can learn to be a better self, okay? You kind of take off the old version of you and keep open-minded, waiting for the new you coming. This is for 12th house. 11th house, you know, you're going to have more friends. All right, that's kind of things very easy. But you know, it's not just that easy. Okay. All right. So finally, let me go to a tiny bit detail. Okay, let me go a little bit tiny detail with these Jupiter. In Leo. So where is Jupiter now? Hey, okay, in the chart you can see this full moon chart. You have Jupiter still at 29 degree Cancer, 56 minutes. Just a few hours later, Jupiter will move into Leo. So you will notice what happened. Okay, Jupiter in 0 degree Leo will opposite Pluto. And then they form a T-square with Chiron. Okay, so for everyone, this set of aspects tell you when Jupiter just moving into the moving into Leo, we are thinking about the big picture. We're thinking about going to have fun. We're thinking about going to enjoy it. But Pluto is there telling you, okay, be careful. There is what you want to take a business class to fly everywhere because you earn a lot of money or something. Then Pluto will be there to say, hey, be careful with with a whole, think of the mind of a whole community and human races and or environmental issue. So Pluto is there to invite you to look at those tiny things you overlooked, you ignored, you didn't pay attention. So pay a little bit attention before you do any project, a big project, but do a little bit risk assessment. A tiny bit of risk assessment. So and we can just like kind of carry that whole action out. But as Jupiter opposite Pluto and the T-square Chiron in Taurus. Now the pressure is on Chiron in Taurus. This suggests, but this is society level. We are going to focus on the our relationship, everyone, our relationship with money, how we value ourselves, how we connect with Mother Earth, with the food, with land. Okay, this is Chiron in Taurus. Now you're going to think about where Pluto in your chart in Aquarius. What house it is, where Jupiter in your chart in Leo, and where the Taurus is, because this is where the pressures focus on. Okay? However, you can also think about your natal Chiron. I did spend a lot of time talking about the Chiron, especially come to the Taurus, where Chiron in your natal chart indicate first, where you get wounded and where you learn how to look after yourself. And this whole learning process give you a gift. It's a gift. It's a talent. You are having it now. So think about that. This Jupiter opposite Pluto T-square Chiron, it may create an opportunity to kind of maximize the things you learn. You can use this to help other people. Okay, you can use this to the society level. But in the mundane astrology level, this is going to reveal more about the income gap, the wealthy gap of the world, super rich and the poor people. This is how it causes the problem. That is okay. We're going to focus on that later. But for yourself, think about where Jupiter, where Pluto is, and where Chiron is. So you're going to heal yourself, and you're going to pay a little bit of attention about the things you ignore, the risk you ignore. So Helen talking about the Jupiter Leo in the 7th and the Chiron Tauro in the 4th. So okay, now where Pluto is. I can guess, right? Let me guess. First house. So you pay attention to someone else, other people, right? Jupiter in Leo. You look at their shining outfit. You look at how great they are. And the Pluto in the first house, you say, oh my God, compare with them. I'm not good enough, right? Oh, I'm just like, I don't want them to see me. Okay. Chiron focus on 4th house. You ask yourself, who told you that? Who told you you are not good enough? All right, in the 4th house. So one thing, you kind of overlook yourself. You kind of ignore yourself. Now, Pluto, won't you spend some time to work on it? Okay? The Jupiter in the 7th house just trigger it. More you look at other people, you have that envy. You have that envy. Say, wow, I want to be like them. Then you have to go back to yourself to do a little bit personal work, make yourself feel good. Or you already do that. We don't know. We never know. Some people already done that. That's good. But it just triggered that issue. Go back to the 4th house, your childhood, your family, your relationship with your parents, and then going to kind of starting the healing journey around this area. Okay. Thank you for sharing that with us. Okay. Now, end of this week, totally like a Wednesday, Thursday, there are 2 tiny things that most people will not pay attention. That is first, that would be, I think, over the weekend from Thursday to the Sunday, until I think 1st of July, if I remember, until when is 1st July? Yeah, or next Wednesday. Okay. We are going to experience the Venus is temporarily going to kind of not going to form any major aspect with other planet apart from the moon. We simply call it unaspected Venus. We're going to have unaspected Venus soon from next week, toward to the end of next week. And also Mercury will be the same. Mercury is going to be unaspected. Mercury is going to be unaspected until mid of July, apart from the aspect with the moon. Think about Mercury, think about the Venus. What are they about? Okay, Mercury is about communication. Not only so from next week, from end of next week, let's say from Saturday or Friday, Mercury is not only retrograde, but also unaspected until mid of July. This is a double whammy, isn't it? This is a double whammy, especially from the view of a psychological astrology. Why? Okay, it's retrograde. It asks you go another way. It asks you to go inner or think about what happening before. But unaspected Venus make you have difficult to connect with other people. You're trying to text your friend that they didn't text you back, they pretend they are not reading or something. Then you feel like, oh my God, I really feel I need someone to listen to me. That kind of a powerful feeling are going to start from end of next week until the mid of July. All these things make us to think again. The definition of a communication, the definition of I want to be loved. I want someone pay attention to me. We are also going to notice people around us doing something unusual, to draw your attention. You are like, don't be childish. Why are you doing that? Because we all craving for that attention. You may go to easy to say, oh, come on, attention seeker. Don't judge that too harsh. You could be that one, and don't judge yourself. We all want to be heard. We all want to be seen. We all want to be loved. We all want to be connected, right? This is a basic human thing. So, sometime over next weekend, to be nice. To be nice. Okay? Both, save it, both. Over the weekend, Venus unexpected and Mercury is also started unexpected. They both doing it. Especially next weekend. Venus will unexpected until 1st July. Venus will unexpected until 1st July. But the Mercury continue to mid of July. Okay? So, be nice. If you can, when someone sends you a message, just reply nicely. I see you. Okay? Or when you feel like, when yourself feel like I want someone to pay attention to me, well, try to reach out. Don't waiting for other people. As you know, this is unexpected Venus. This is unexpected Mercury. So just kind of don't treat yourself so hard. You know, other people, they probably have their own challenge too. Another thing you can do is, as I say, what's the best doing during the Mercury retrograde in Cancer? Have dialogue to yourself. Talk to yourself. Writing diary, or doing something, writing a blog or something. Talk about your feeling, and examine your feeling. That would be really helpful. Okay, that would be really helpful. And sending lovely message over next end of next weekend, make people feel someone cares me. Okay, that would be lovely. Well, toward the end of the week, we also have like a Sun square Saturn. That is kind of a big pressure. But I'm so tired. I'm not going to talk more about that. But this Saturn is kind of make people being a little bit judgmental and harsh toward to their boss, toward to their country leader, toward to the, certain important figure around the world. But we can also be harsh to ourselves, say, come on, you're better than this. Okay, this is hard. Okay, finally, let's go back to we put everything together. So, early from today, we have a Mars into Gemini, so we are very easy to kind of have kind of a sharp dialogue and argue with each other. But also we can be creative as a Mars conjunct Uranus and trying to kind of surprise each other. But this is a very creative energy. Okay, Jupiter, Chiron, and Pluto T-square in the fixed sign. It brings an opportunity to help us to grow, to develop, to go far by healing our wound that Chiron suggests. But all this is part of this Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto's bucket formation. They are there to help each other. They are not there to against each other. So the challenge you have, use the dynamic of creativity, Mars, Uranus, can help you to find the way out. Use the generosity and the empathy and the passion of the Neptune to accept you and your friends or the other people are on the same boat. And we are human beings. Sometimes we make mistakes. And we all need love. So all these things working together, maybe we can really achieve what Andre Bobu says is the best of the civilization, of the human being. We all kind of help each other. So the challenge aspect between Jupiter, Pluto, it is a trigger. It is a trigger. It makes you feel a little bit, sometimes it makes you feel a little bit hopeless or helpless, or someone shut the door. The fate, very fated, Pluto fated feeling. We see this Chiron. with T square of Chiron, even more, because I didn't do anything wrong. Why they treat me like this? This is not what I ask for. You know, that very fated feeling with Pluto square, with Pluto and the Pluto square Chiron. The kind of, or just because my parent done this or my grandparent done this, so you can treat me like that, or just I come from another country, so you can treat me like that. When this happen, be creative, okay? When this challenge happen, the door shutting up. Now think about it, you are in the place, in the house, in the house. Someone shut the door. You don't have a key. You couldn't go out. What are you going to do? Be creative. Someone will open the window, jump out the window. Someone will start digging a hole and getting out of it. Someone will make a phone call, Mars, Uranus with Gemini. Someone make a phone call. Hey, come to help me. Someone maybe you will get out from the chimney like a Father Christmas. Okay. Someone will just give up and just say, oh, never mind. I'm just, browsing my mobile phone until my Prince Charming comes to save me. Or someone will be very Leo, Capricorn, or Scorpio, kind of trying to knock out the door until yourself be knocked out. So what would you do? But be creative, because Mars, Uranus is in Gemini. Try to be creative. Okay, try to be creative. You can find the way out. So this is the major things I want to do a podcast today, because how this happened? Have you seen Mars in Gemini, Jupiter in Leo, Mercury Retrograde, and the Capricorn Full Moon? Okay, and nevertheless, you have like what I'm talking about: Sun square Pluto and unaspect Venus, unaspect Mercury. Wow. I never see I can talk about 1 hour. No, easily I can do it because before I become astrologer, I'm a radio host. I can just talk to myself for 1 hour or two without a problem. So, well, thanks everyone, especially Sammy from the beginning to the end. Have a conversation with me, make me feel like I'm not really boring, And thanks everyone who sent me the message, chat with me, because it's so fun to talk, to have a dialogue. And then if you like, I will come back next week, okay? I will come back next Sunday, have a weekly update and what we can use all this planetary energy on the personal level. And if you have time, join me at this on the Instagram. You can tell me what house these planets are, so we can have a discussion. You can give me feedback too, okay? Send me the feedback on the comment area. Say, okay, what I like to know, what I like to talk. All right. So, well, be creative, okay? Be creative. Okay, be creative, and then also reconnect yourself. Reconnect with the Mercury retrograde. What we can do is reconnect with our inner feeling, with our security, and nurturing ourselves. Treat yourself nice with the unexpected Venus, unexpected Mercury. We are craving for other people's attention. Why not you pay attention to yourself? By talking about that, I'm going to have a nice cake later, because I just craving for a nice cake. Okay, see you next time. Bye bye.